How's it going, everyone? ND Sean 45 coming at you. That time of year is back. We are less than 2 weeks away from Notre Dame football 2014. I'm excited. I can't wait. This is hands down my favorite time of year. Now, before I go any further, I have to apologize to you guys. I had actually planned to have this video out to you a lot sooner than just this close to the start of the season. But of course, as we all know, the recent academic scandal news that broke at Notre Dame last week, that changed my plans for this video just a little bit. Understatement of the year, I know. But when that news broke, I had to put a halt to it. I had to, sit down and think about just what exactly I was going to say in this video. But I'll get to the scandal in just a second. And also, I don't know if you guys can really tell or not at how the camera's angled here, but I'm not using my video camera. I'm actually filming this on the webcam on my laptop, and the camera's actually on the shelf. I have to get a new battery for it. But you know something, I could get used to this. I mean, this is actually pretty convenient, a lot better than a video camera actually, having to set up a tripod and all that. But when it comes to actually going to games and wanting to get video footage for you guys of inside the stadium, I'm going to have to get the camera fixed for that, because you can't very well bring in a laptop with you. But we'll see how the picture looks after I get done filming this. So yeah, I mean, obviously with those two things, my plans changed quite a bit. And but just to talk a little bit about the scandal. Definitely another negative moment on Notre Dame, another negative headline. I'm just like the rest of you guys. I'm waiting for more details to emerge and for the investigation to get completed. So I can't accurately judge or talk about this at the moment. The only thing I can say is, as a fan and a supporter of the University of Notre Dame, this is very disappointing, very heartbreaking. Something like this, there's no excuse for it. And I know, and I'm not talking about just this either. I mean, this is just the most recent thing, but a lot of the issues we've had in the past, there's no excuse for it. It all could have been so avoided. So I mean, along those lines, I'm disappointed. I'm heartbroken that all this stuff is happening at Notre Dame, and I just wish for once that we could have a peaceful off season. Just too many negative headlines here going on in the off season. It just we're making all I know is we got to clean it up. We got to fix these problems and nip it in the bud, because we are making the press's job way too easy. I mean, it's ridiculous. But again, there's no excuse for this kind of thing. I can't pass accurate judgment because we gotta wait for more details to emerge. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't disappointed about this, and knowing the fact that we might have to vacate some wins. The memories will still be there, but just knowing that they won't officially count if it does happen, I mean, that sucks. There's no denying that. But one thing I will give credit to, and I think even the most hardcore Notre Dame hater out there would agree with me when I say this, but you got to at least give the university credit that they are addressing the problem and handling things a lot differently than they might have done with other things in the past. You got to commend them for it. You do. I mean, even if Colin Cowherd can say it, then any hardcore Notre Dame hater can say the same thing. They're at least being honest about it. They're doing the right thing. So give them some credit. But I'll tell you guys one thing. Even though this sucks and it's another dark moment for Notre Dame, I'm not going to let that ruin the upcoming season ahead, because, as I said, this is my favorite time of year. I enjoy it. I love it. And I'm going to press forward. I'm never going to stop being a Notre Dame fan. Might be disappointed with them right now, but I'm never going to stop being a fan, and I'm never going to stop supporting them. Now, just to set a few things straight with this season preview, I'm going to be pretty blunt and to the point, as I usually am. But with the 4 players that were suspended temporarily until the investigation is complete: wide receiver DeVaris Daniels, cornerback Kavari Russell, defensive end Shaq Williams, and linebacker Kendall Moore, I'm going to do this prediction in this preview with the team as it is. Because we don't know for sure if those 4 guys are going to be back, if they're going to be reinstated. So I'm just going to call it as the team sits now. So with that said, the way I see the 2014-2015 season going down for Notre Dame, I'm not going to predict records or anything like that. Just of how I see things going. Now, offensively, the biggest news, as we all know, of course, is the return of that quarterback Everett Golson. He's going to be an instant upgrade for the Notre Dame offense because he can do a lot more things than what Tommy Rees was able to do. He can run, but on top of that, he can make plays happen with his legs and his agility and speed. So that's instant upgrade right there. And even if DeVaris Daniels does not return to the team, I still think that won't stop us from having a pretty solid receiving core. We do have depth and talent there, so I'm not overly worried about that. But in addition to that, we have a beast of an offensive line. And maybe I'm sounding a little bit like a Notre Dame homer here, but I think we have, hands down, one of the best running back cores in the country. Led by veteran Cam McDaniel and followed by 2 guys who I think this is their big year to shine. Greg Bryant and Torian Folston. In particular, Greg Bryant. That guy is a beast. He's a monster, and we saw a few flashes of him in the spring game, but of course, as we all know, his season was cut short by injury last year. So this is his year to shine. Torian Folston, we know what he can do with that deadly speed of his, and I think we're gonna give some defenses a lot of problems this year. But of course, with the schedule that we have, not gonna get cocky, not gonna get arrogant, not gonna get ahead of myself. But we'll take it one game at a time. Now, my main concern, and I would have said this even if the academic scandal news didn't break, even if Russell and Williams and Moore were still on the team, I'd still be saying the same thing. Defense is my main concern this year, just because of the fact that we have a new defensive coordinator in there, Brian Van Gorder. The system that he runs is pretty much blitz, 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 and it's going to force our defensive backs into a lot of one-on-one coverage. And on our defense, the 2 big losses that we suffered were Lewis Nix and Stephon Tuitt to the NFL. So we're going to be seeing some new leaders emerge. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some newcomers like Dan Cage see some significant playing time early on. I'll get better as the season goes along. This is my first video in quite some time. But then with the linebacking core, we're very young there. We have a returning sophomore Jalen Smith. No, I don't see any problems there. But I think we're also gonna. But we also have, I'm not saying that he's bad or anything like that, or not trying to be negative here, but we have 5th-year senior Joe Schmidt, first-time starter. But from what I'm hearing, the coaches really love him. They like what he's been doing in practice, and all I'm saying is we're very young and for lack of a better term, I guess you could say inexperienced, but you got a first-time starter, a young sophomore, and I also expect to see a lot of Niles Morgan, incoming freshman. And then the secondary, I think we have a lot of talent and experience back there, so I'm not overly worried. But it's the adjustment to Brian Van Gorder's system. It's just I'm not trying to be down on our defense. It's more of just a question mark of what are we going to get this year. I really don't know. But if I had to go with my gut instinct right now, I think on defense, just with all the shuffling around that we're going to be doing, and if the 3 defensive players that were in the scandal are out, I think there's going to be some growing pains there. It's definitely going to be a transitional period, and it most likely will show. But something, I'm not trying to be down on our defense here. I'm just trying to be realistic. But something, I hope they go out there and they prove every word that I'm saying 100% wrong. And I want them to. I want to eat these words. But as it stands right now, I think the way this season is going to go is we're going to have to rely on our offense to really carry the load. and score a crap load of points. Because just the way things are right now, I see our defense giving up quite a fair share. So I really honestly think we're going to be in a lot of shootout games this year. But, who knows? It could be the complete opposite of what I'm saying here. Our defense could be stellar and just shut everybody down. But that's to be seen yet. But just judging by everything with the transitional period and a new defensive scheme and all that, new defensive coordinator, some mistakes are going to be expected, and they will happen. So I'm just bracing myself for that. I think the rest of you should as well. But overall with the season, I definitely think it has the potential to be very well, to be a good one. I don't think getting 10 victories sounds too crazy this year. At the very least, I mean, I'm not going to exactly predict records because you guys know me. I'm never going to pick Notre Dame to lose. Maybe some of you will be like, oh, of course you're going to say that. You're a big time Notre Dame homer, Sean. But hey, I'm a fan first and an analyst second, and I've been very clear about that since day one. But I want my boys to win every time they step foot on that field. So that's how I see it. I think our offense is going to have to carry a lot of the load, score a lot of points. Defense is probably going to struggle a little bit. That's just what my gut tells me. But I hope I'm wrong. So with that, guys, that's really all I have for you for a season preview. And the next video I do will most likely be the preview for the Rice game here in a couple weeks. Or if we hear some news break at Notre Dame about the scandal investigation going on, I'll probably do a video about that. But before I go, one thing I wanted to mention, Magnum, if you're watching this video, if you happen to catch it, that video that I told you to be on the lookout for obviously didn't happen because I had some camera issues, but it was just going to be about Notre Dame and Georgia scheduling a home and home series for a few years from now. So I just wanted to hear your intake on it, man. We finally get a chance to clash here on the Trash Talking Circle. I mean, it won't be for 3 years yet, but looking forward to it, man. And if you have the time, make a video. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that series. It's time to get revenge from '81, man. So we're coming for you in a few years. So yeah, with that said, guys, that's all I have for you. This is ND Sean 45 signing off. I'll catch you guys later. And as always, go Irish, baby!